Practical Research 1. Understanding data and ways to systematically collect data. A. Choose appropriate qualitative research design. There are specific qualitative approaches or qualitative research designs. These are the following: phenomenology, grounded theory, ethnography, historical, and case study. In phenomenology, the goal is to describe experiences as they lived. Here, we examine the uniqueness of individuals' life situations, and take note that each person has their own reality. Reality is subjective. The methods that can be used here are direct observation and interview. The data analysis involves classification and rank data, sense of wholeness, and examine experiences beyond human awareness or cannot be communicated. In the phenomenology, the findings are described from subject's point of view, while the researcher identifies themes and later structural explanation of findings is developed. In the grounded theory, the purpose is for the researcher to develop a theory. This grounded theory is used in discovering what problems exist in a social science area and how the person handle them. This involves formulation, testing, and redevelopment of propositions until a theory is developed. Methods used here are interview, direct observation, record review, and could be a combination of the mentioned methods. When you analyze data in a grounded theory, there must be a sufficient and substantial related literature and studies, since this involves concept formation, development, modification, and integration. The outcome would be a theory supported by examples from data. In ethnography, the purpose is to describe a culture's characteristics. Methods could be participant observation, interview, data analysis through literature and study reviews, direct observation, and interaction with the informants or subjects. The outcome of this design is to describe a certain culture. In historical design, the purpose is to describe and examine events of the past to understand the present and anticipate potential future effects. Methods used here are extensive reviews of the related literature and studies, interview, investigate, and writes a comprehensive study. The researcher could choose how the outcome could be presented through biography, chronology, or issue paper. In the case study, the purpose is to describe in depth the experience of one person, family, group, community, or institution. The methods could be direct observation and interaction with the informant or subject, and interview. Here, there will be a synthesis of experience and an in-depth description of the experience will be the outcomes. Qualitative research methods: direct observation and immersion, interviews, open-ended surveys, focus groups, participant observation, content analysis of visual and textual materials, and oral history are the qualitative research methods. In a direct observation, a researcher might observe the ways in which strangers interact in public as they gather to watch a street performer. In conducting interviews, it can be an in-depth interview by speaking with participants in a one-on-one setting. There is a predetermined list of questions or topics for discussion but allows the conversation to evolve based on how the participant responds. There could also be identified certain topics of interest but does not have a formal guide for the conversation and allows the participant to guide it. In the focus group discussions, FGD, there can be from 5 to 15 participants. Social scientists often use them in studies that examine an event or trend that occurs within a specific community. FGDs are also common in market research too. The participant observation is similar with direct observation. However, with this one, the researcher also participates in the action or events to not only observe others but to gain the first-hand experience in the setting. This method is most common with ethnography, where the ethnographic observation is utilized and probably the most intensive. Originating in anthropology, with this method, a researcher fully immerses herself into the research setting and lives among the participants as one of them for anywhere from months to years. The oral history is used to create a historical account of an event, group, or community, and typically involves a series of in-depth interviews conducted with one or multiple participants over an extended time. The content analysis of visual and textual materials is used to analyze social life by interpreting words and images from documents, film, art, music, and other cultural products and media. The researchers look at how the words and images are used, and the context in which they are used to draw inferences about the underlying culture. The end.